morning or good afternoon wherever you are. My name is Lynette. For those of you new, I'm excited to bring this video to you guys. I haven't done an Amish Mennonite style cooking video in a while, and I was wanting to make some rhubarb dessert. I made a delight, and I decided I'm gonna use another recipe, which is my mother-in-law's recipe. And I don't know if you guys like rhubarb or not. It's pretty common in Amish and Mennonite circles, and something that I didn't used to even try as a little girl, but as I grew older, I decided to try it, and I actually really love it. And rhubarb is in season right now, so I thought it'd be fun to share a recipe with you. My mother-in-law has a recipe that she always uses, and Nick loves it. I'm gonna attempt to make it and to share it with you guys. And then also, I have another like dinner. Well, you got all the things. Anyway, I am gonna also be making a dinner for you guys. It's not filmed on the same day, but we're gonna do potatoes, chicken salad, and then I have this rhubarb delight, or like a rhubarb dessert for you guys. So for this first step, you're gonna have your butter, which is cold. You're gonna have 2 sticks of butter, and I will try to leave the exact recipe ingredients. I will say the crust turned out to be a little thicker than normal, so you may want to not put quite all of that in the pan. But in any case, as far as doing this, I put kind of just like cut the butter into small pieces and then added my sugar and flour together. And then I have one of these, I don't know really what you call them, this is like a little masher of sorts, and that kind of just made it crumbly. And then at the end I also used my hands to kind of just make it all kind of work together and become nice and like mixed and still be crumbly, to be able to pat it into the pan then, if that makes sense. You're then going to bake this at 350 for around 10 minutes. Once you've cut your rhubarb into small, like fine pieces, you're going to just put that in a bowl, and then you're going to be making your custard filling, which is separating the egg yolks from the yolks, and you're going to be using the egg white part of it later, so don't throw those away. You're going to need it for the last step of the recipe. So for this custard filling, you're going to just mix everything together, and you're going to add your rhubarb to it then, and then that will be poured on to the slightly baked crust that you saw previously. Then you're going to pop it back into the oven for I think around 40-45 minutes maybe. I will make sure I have that written out. And then in the meantime, maybe wait just a little bit, don't do it right away, but towards the end of the baking period, you're going to work on making the meringue part of it. This is the egg yolks, and you're going to beat those until they're, I think the recipe said stiff, but basically till like the peaks are formed nicely. And yeah, you'll have to beat it for a while, but you can kind of tell once it, you know, reaches its max, in other words. Then you're going to slowly add in some sugar, a little bit at a time. And also then once that's all mixed together, you're going to add a little bit of cream of tartar and some vanilla. And then this will be put on top of the baked custard. This step is the last one, and you will put it in the oven for just a little bit after, you know, you put the meringue on it. So my mother-in-law told me that the meringue part of it, or the egg white part, maybe it's not called meringue. In any case, she said that it generally makes plenty so that I wouldn't need the full amount, which I think I had cut back on it. But use your judgment with this, however thick you want it. I feel like my crust was plenty thick, so I could have used a little bit more custardy because my pan was a little bigger than a 9 by 13. I am grinning from ear to ear because I think this is how it's supposed to look. Do you see that toasted like meringue type stuff? It turned out a lot better than I expected. To think that this is my first time. Nick is gonna be thrilled. I hope it actually tastes as good as it looks. I'm gonna let it cool off and chill. We usually eat it cold, and if you're not familiar with rhubarb, rhubarb has kind of like a tangy taste to it, and it's like a custardy type filling. And then you have the egg whites with sugar, cream of tartar, and vanilla on top, plus, you know, the crust, of course. So, hopefully this will turn out better than the first recipe that I made. And I don't know, I can't remember quite how my mother-in-law's looked, but I feel like this seems about right, so yay! I hope you guys try it and love it. This is my second helping already, and I'm eating it warm, and it's really good warm too. Okay, so for the potatoes, I'm gonna do like the ranch style potatoes, and I have shown them before. Can you show them the potato? So they're supposed to be red potatoes, but these are the ones I have on hand, so I'm just gonna use these. But you're gonna maybe quarter them, and then you're gonna cook them until they're almost soft. Then you're gonna be putting them in a pan and putting like ranch sour cream mixture over them, as well as like shredded cheese. You could put cornflakes on the top if you'd want. My husband is not a fan of cornflakes, so I usually leave those off. And then you're gonna bake them, and they're really good. We actually serve these at our weddings. Actually, part of this meal is at our wedding because I'm also, somehow I have ingredients for the colorific salad, and I'm gonna make some. My husband loves the salad, and I do as well, so I happen to have some of the ingredients. So that's gonna be on the menu as well. And then also barbecue baked chicken form of it. I'm gonna fry the chicken just a little bit in like flour, and then I'm gonna put like a sauce over it and bake it. So I need to get started with the potatoes. They're really easy, and it's something that you can do ahead of time, so they're great for that as well. So I would highly recommend you use the red potatoes if you can, but I'm gonna use these and then spray the top with this. That kind of helps it not boil over as easily. You could also do the wooden spoon, but I want to put the lid on it for a while to get it hot faster. The next step was starting the chicken, and I used boneless thighs. I don't think these were the skinless, but I love thighs. They're very moist, but you could also use whatever type of chicken you prefer. I put butter in the pan, and then you dip the chicken into the flour. I think I sprinkled some salt in there as well, and then you're just gonna brown it a little bit. You're not gonna cook it all the way through. And if I didn't mention before now, it's a barbecue baked chicken. So I'm making the barbecue sauce here, in case you're wondering. So this step here is optional, but you can add the drippings from your chicken into your barbecue sauce just for a little extra flavor. It also called for a certain type of barbecue sauce. I just used kind of what I had on hand. Feel free to do the same. That just kind of adds a little bit more of a barbecue flavor to it. Then you're gonna pour it over the chicken and bake it for as long as it takes to cook it. That will depend on what type of chicken you use. Keep an eye on your potatoes. You don't want them to cook for too long, but basically you'll just cook them until you can, poke your knife through very nicely. And then I'm making the sauce for the potatoes. This is a sour cream and ranch mixture. You really can't mess it up. I also add ranch seasoning to it, And then I kind of forgot this step when I was making it. It's kind of been a little bit since I did it, but generally I would have added shredded like cheddar cheese to my ranch sauce and mixed it together. It's not like it'll mess it up necessarily, but I would recommend you do that. And you could also add in your bacon bits in that mixture as well. It'll just kind of help it all like mix together. Then you will put these back in the oven for, I guess, as long as you need to heat them back up and have everything melted. And you should probably cover it as well. I also want to take a minute to thank Walnut Creek Foods for sponsoring today's video. They are based in Holmes County, which is Amish country, and I've talked about them a lot. I love partnering with them because they're a company that I truly support and love and grew up buying. They have all kinds of products that they make. This is the label. There's like a little horse and buggy on it. Walnut Creek Foods is the distributor, and they have several stores called Walnut Creek Cheese. They have 2 of them up in Holmes County, so there'll be one in Walnut Creek and one in Berlin. They're very interesting to go look at and shop at if you were ever up there in the area. I do have a couple videos where I showed you guys those stores. I'll have those linked in my playlist below, just Amish country stuff. So anyway, I'm excited to make another trip up to Ohio this summer, but that's beside the point. They make a lot of their products themselves, or as many as they can, and they distribute them to a big portion of the US, different like deli stores, bulk food stores, gas stations, you name it. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they have now found their products in stores where maybe they wouldn't have recognized the brand or anything. And it's just something that I can stand behind and recommend to you guys. I will leave their link, walnutcreekcheese.com, down below. You can order stuff online if you don't have stores near you, and you can, yeah, just order some things straight to your door. I love their stuff. They have a lot of deli meats and cheeses and things like that. So highly recommend them. I just want to thank them for sponsoring the video today. So I'm making my dressing for the colorific salad. You could also do this in a blender if you like to. I do add some minced onion to it. I didn't use all of these that I chopped up, but you know, use your judgment however much you want in there. And then the rest of the recipe is pretty easy, and you can honestly customize it to how you want. The original recipe calls for red pepper. I did not put any of that in. So that is just completely optional, you know, for your preferences or whatever. I add craisins, and also there's honey roasted sesame sticks, which can be a little hard to find. I usually find them in my local like bulk food type stores, or say Detweiler's down here. So you may have to look a little bit harder for those, but then you put in some purple onion craisins. Also, I added in some pecans this time. It's like a kind of, I think these were like maple glazed or something. And it's, yeah, and then you add cheese in there as well. So basically customize it to how you want, but then the dressing is like a sweet, tangy style dressing, and it's really good. How's the chicken?
It's fantastic. This is almost our wedding meal, isn't it?
Almost. Except the chicken, we would have had, what, grilled chicken? And we didn't have rhubarb dessert at our wedding.
Should have.
So that is going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know what you think if you try the rhubarb. Also, I'll make sure to leave the recipes in the description box, as well as a link for Walnut Creek Cheese. You can browse their website and whatnot. And also, if you're still here and you're new, hit the subscribe button. I'd love that. And that is going to be it for today, you guys. Hope you all have a very wonderful week, and I will be seeing you all in my next one. Bye, guys.